Okay? Make sure y'all can see me. All right, if my audience can turn around and wave at the camera, please. I have 3 people in my audience. My name is Nikki, and I'm here today to let you know a few things about Miss Lucille Ball. She's who I'm doing my biography speech on, and that's it. So, who do you think of when you think of back in the day comedy actress? Because I think of red, fiery hair Lucille Ball. I spent most of my childhood watching her, and Nick at Night with my Aunt Betty, we're getting ready to eat dinner, put on I Love Lucy, and we start the show. So she was born in 1911 in Jamestown, New York, and her father was a lineman for Bell Telephone, and by the time she turned 3, they had already moved to 2 different states, and he died when she turned the age of 4, and she began to live with her grandparents and a very independent mother. Her grandfather was a very doting grandfather and loved her a lot, and he also loved acting and anything that had to do with plays, and that kind of instilled her love of playwriting and actressing into her. She dropped out of high school when she was 15 years old with the okay of her mother, and she went to John Murray Anderson Robert Milton School of Theater in New York. She realized after about 6 weeks of school that she wasn't cut out for school then. So she went back home, and then she came back a couple of years later, and she was ready to go. And she became the face of Chesterfield cigarettes. And she got a few other starring roles, and by this time she was known as what they call the Queen of B's, which is B-rated movies. And she also met and married her husband, Desi Arnaz. By the time she was 30 years old, she started a radio sitcom called My Favorite Husband, which took off. And then by this time, by the end of My Favorite Husband, her and Desi had taken the jump to television. CBS asked her to star in a role, but did not want Desi to star with her, and her response was, "He is my husband." So to solidify their union as husband and wife, they went on a tour of talk shows. And by this time she had gotten pregnant, and they started Desi Lou Productions together. They also started I Love Lucy in their own production studio, and it was 10 years solid of run, 6 years of fresh new episodes and 4 years of reruns and specials, and it still is being shown today on certain television networks. In 1962, she bought Arnaz's shares of Desi Lou, and she became the 2nd woman in Hollywood to own her own production studio. Her health had deteriorated by then, and so she sold her shares of Desi Lou to Atlantic companies, and she suffered a stroke where they found that she had some heart problems, and she died suddenly in her sleep. Richard Adler wrote that Lucille Ball had said, "I am not funny, but I am brave." She was a high school dropout at the age of 15, and she braved the world of New York and the world of acting and becoming an actress. She held many roles as a woman, such as a wife, a mother, an actress, and a businesswoman, and she made history for other women in Hollywood. That's it.